Hi, my name is Harold and welcome to the Sanctum. Hello, my dear friends. In this video, I'm going to talk about four aspects of fire, or the four different kinds of Agni. This is taken from the yogic tradition. The word Agni means fire. And these are aspects of fire that we can find, and some of it is expressed within ourselves. So the first aspect is called Jataragni, right? And the word Jatara in Sanskrit means digestive or digestion. So Jataragni means digestive fire, and it's located in the belly. This is the fire of digestion. So in Ayurveda, it is digestion is seen differently, whereas in Western biology, when we eat some food, it goes into our stomach and the stomach digests that food. Now that's the physical aspect of food. Now in the Ayurvedic tradition, in Ayurveda they see not just the physical aspects of digestion but also the energetic aspects of digestion. So, and for those who don't know, Ayurveda is ancient Indian medicine. So the energetic aspect of digestion is that when you eat something, apart from the physical aspect going into the stomach and going through all the natural digestion processes, the energetic aspect falls into a non-physical fire. It doesn't actually exist in your belly, but an energetic fire that's present in the belly. I know this is there in almost every tradition that you can find, this idea of a inner heat or fire in your belly. So this is what's referred to as Jataragni. And when the food or the energetic aspect of the food hits this fire, it's burnt up and it creates two different products. One is called ojas and the other one is called ama. So ojas is the non-physical energy, vital energy. It's a non-physical vital energy that brings about health and well-being, and it's a very potent and spiritual form of energy. While as ama is a toxin. It's a toxin that's poisonous to the body in some way. Now, Viojas burns ama, right? So when one eats healthier foods, such as vegetables and fruit and nuts and all of those things, and when those sorts of food hit the fire, large amounts of ojas are produced and only tiny amounts of ama, and therefore the ojas burns the ama, and you're left with more ojas, which gets stored and used in the body for your own for the processes in the body. Whereas if you were to eat more junk food or processed food, when that sort of food enters and hits the fire, large amounts of armor are produced and only a tiny bit of ojas just gets used up by the armor, burns a little bit of the armor, and all that armor gets stored in the body. Now, armor is stored in fat cells, right? And it's a toxin to the body. So, this is, in a nutshell, is what the digestive fire does. It's not only used for digestion, but it's also the reproductive fire. So it's the fire that it's that sexual fire. It allows us to create a new life. So it's a powerful energy, but it's also the fire of doing, right? So those who are doers in the world, physically, as well as who have a lot of motivation and drive and are robust and healthy, have a strong Jataragni and digestive fire. Now, the second fire is called Chittagni, and that means intellectual fire or fire of intelligence, and it's present right here in the throat. Now, that is the fire of the intelligence. When somebody has a strong Chittagni, they are individuals who can create, very creative in nature, who can not this doesn't necessarily mean, in terms of creating a physical object like a table or something like that. It also, mean in terms of painting, in terms of singing, in terms of dancing, um, in terms of writing, in terms of philosophy, thinking, in terms of science, is rooted in using the intelligence is now flourishing in that particular individual, right? So that is the intellectual fire, and all these fires can be developed. Then there is the Bhuthagni, which is located here in the third eye center in this particular region, and that is the word Bhutha means elemental, so it's elemental fire, and this is the first of all the fire of perception. So it's the fire that lights up so that you can see, so that you can see clearly. It's the fire that burns all of the illusions of reality, so that you can see clearly. Right? So this is also related to the famous story in the yogic tradition that Shiva opened his third eye, and everything started to burn. Everything became inflamed in fire and burnt down. So this is a this is symbolic of how this particular Bhutagni, the fire, can destroy and burn down the illusion so that one can see clearly in that way. And then finally, we have the fourth form of fire, which is called Sarvagni. Now, Sarvagni essentially means primordial fire, the first fire, and it goes beyond. It's not really actually in the body, it goes even beyond because it's the subtlest form. This is the fire which all other fire is derived from. It's that spark that gives rise to everything. It's beyond the elements, it's beyond form, it's beyond the universe as we know it. It's one of those things that we can barely even grasp, but everything rises from it. So now, if a person is barely able to feed themselves or aren't able to, are starving, the digestive fire is is not really receiving that particular nourishment. So therefore, even reproduction will not be something the individual can even think about because they're looking for food, right? So then you can see, then once that's satisfied and that fire is strong, the person can now actually think about reproduction. The person can think about doing other things. Um, and then, because when that fire is satisfied, now the person can actually create, go outside and write books or sing or all of that stuff, um, philosophize, because the intellectual fire is strong. But then again, when the intellectual fire becomes very, very strong, now that which is the Jataragni is no longer as important, right? So the person might even, food might no longer be as desirable as it used to be, because now there is something that's much more important in nature, right? And in the same way, once the perception has flourished in that way, the Bhutagni is active, the lesser fires aren't as important anymore. Whereas the yogi who wants to transcend everything is most concerned with the Sarvagni, because that goes beyond all of it. That's where everything comes from. So the yogi is more interested in developing and understanding Sarvagni, the primordial fire. So all of these fires are useful to us depending on where we are and what we want to do with our life. Right? If you want to be a doer and have more motivation to go out there and do things, you need to develop the Jataragni. If you want to create, if you want to sing, if you want to draw, if you want to paint, we want to develop the Chittagni. If you want to perceive, we want to develop the Bhutagni. And if we want to transcend, we want to develop the Sarvagni. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give this video a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Take care.